I'm going to demonstrate how to write a headless command. It's very simple. It's actually similar to template UI command, except it doesn't have a UI. A template UI command, you can render list view, form view, or markdown view. And the headless command is fire and forget. It runs in the background. Okay, so we are going to use a UUID generator example. So the code is here. It's pretty simple. You install a UUID package from npm, you generate one in the load function, and write to clipboard. This load function is called when the extension command is triggered. So, okay, let's begin. I will start by copying this command and open a terminal. Select headless command. I will also git init so you can see which files are generated and ignored. The changelog is not necessary. The important files are package.json, which contains the metadata for this extension, the index.ts file, which contains the extension. The template actually comes with the UUID example. Then the third file is build.ts, which built the TypeScript file. I will start by installing the dependencies with Bang, but you can use any other package managers. Bang is just more convenient for me. Okay, so the errors go away. The first step after getting templates is to change the name. I will change the command name to generate UUID v4. And before looking at the code, let me run it. There are two scripts, dev and build. They're both for building the extension. Dev will run a file watch on the source folder, so if anything changes in the folder, it will run the build script again to generate this distribution folder. And this index.js file is what is actually loaded into the app. Okay. To add this extension, we use add dev extension command. And you can drag the folder to here or simply click and select the folder. When you see success, it means the package.json is valid. So now I'm going to copy this line and paste. So, in my clipboard, I have this import statement. If I click on it, it says I copied this UID, and if I paste, I indeed have it. So that's how this simple UID generator works. It's very simple. And if you want to add more commands, you can always just add some TypeScript files to the source folder and add their paths to the entry points. Then when you change any files, it will build each entry point with Bang. Target browser is because the target runtime is web worker, and other is distribution folder. Okay. And let's look at the code. The headless subpackage contains a headless command abstract class and contains a abstract load function, which you must implement. You define a class that extends headless command and implement the load function, which will be triggered when the extension command is called. And finally, expose it. The exposed object is actually just a JavaScript object with a function. So theoretically, you can simply expose something like this. But yeah, of course, it has to be async. Okay, revert. A few more important things is about permission. If I remove the clipboard write text permission and let's run it again, we will get error. There is a typo here, but you can see this message, require one of this. You either need write text or write all permission in order to call this write text API. So if we go to the clipboard API documentation, you can see it has many API functions and their required permissions. So for example, if you want to write text to clipboard, you need to either declare clipboard write text or clipboard write all in the package.json file. Okay. And if you need to debug, let's say you want to log the UUID, you can also easily do that. And right-click, inspect elements, or you can use the drop-down to toggle DevTools. Go to console. Let's click on it again, and so you can see the log. I'm gonna add the permission back. Try again. Good. To add more commands, you can simply add an object. I'm not going to write this, but suppose the file is called v7.ts, so you write v7.js here. It's not going to automatically load the command because currently the app doesn't watch the package.json file. I may add this feature later, but for now you can use reload extensions. So you can see the new command here. Or you can also just reload the window. It will also reload all the new commands from the package.json file. Let's quickly look at the difference between a headless command and a template UI command. The template UI command is from UI template subpackage. It also has a abstract load method that will be triggered when the extension command is called. For example, this battery info command is a template UI command. It's a very simple list view. When the load function is called, it calls some system commands to get the battery info and display it as a list. Everything is done in the load function. But it also has other functions. These are event functions because the template UI command needs to interact with the user. It has a graphical user interface. So you can see all the functions start with on. So for example, when an item is selected, this onListItemSelected function will be called with the value. Okay, so this is headless command. It's the simplest command in Kunkun's extension so far.